Tonight on Elon Local News.
One Elon employee shares how a national problem affects his day-to-day work in the dining hall.
Elon students can elect their next student government leader now. Who's running and what they stand for ahead.
Plus, sports betting may soon become legal in North Carolina. We're breaking down the bill tonight.
Those stories and more.
Elon Local News starts now.
Live from the Jane and Brian Williams studio at Elon University School of Communications, you're watching Elon Local News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Annemarie Bonner.
I'm Mason Willett and you're watching Elon Local News. If you voted this morning for any of the Student Government Association elections, you may need to vote again. The Phoenix Connect page was shut down for about an hour this morning because of two errors. Class of 2024 presidential candidate Genesis Tolbert's name was left off the ballot. Students were also given ballots based on their standing determined by the number of credit hours and not by their graduating year.
Voting is now open again and two juniors are running for SGA's top job, student body president. Our Sophie Rosenthal has the story.
Junior Curran Gilster is from Virginia. He is currently serving his first term in SGA as the College of Arts and Sciences Senator and is the organization's Academic Relations Committee Chair. If elected, Gilster says he wants to use the office as a platform to connect students with university administration.
We're talking with administrators on behalf of the student body. We're negotiating, we're compromising. I think that's the part that's sometimes forgotten, and I think that's the part I really want to build up.
Gilster says he also wants to build relationships with nearby businesses for students to work and intern locally.
We should help establish pipelines for Elon students to go there, not only during the summers, but also while they're studying down here so they can intern while continuing their studies, because it's not feasible for everybody to take a low-paying internship during the summer.
Junior Britt Mobley is from North Carolina. He is currently a School of Education senator and previously served terms as a Class of 2024 senator and freshman class president, and was briefly a School of Communication senator. Mobley says he wants to focus on creating connections between SGA and student organizations in order to represent more of the student body.
Let's utilize those friendships, let's utilize the connections that we have so that we can get those community-based ideas done.
Along with connecting them to SGA, Mobley says one goal of his is to create opportunities for all students to interact across separate organizations, such as campus-wide tailgates.
We get here, we find our core group of folks, but then we all are separated into our little clusters on campus, right? But I always say, imagine the fun we would have if we were all surrounded by one common goal.
Both candidates say they hope students will vote regardless of who they're voting for. Last year, just under 2,000 students voted, which was just about 30% of the student population. Sophie Rosenthal, Elon Local News.
Voting closes tomorrow at 5 p.m. Students can vote on Phoenix Connect, follow along on elonnewsnetwork.com, and on social media at Elon News Network for live results.
President Joe Biden is set to be in Durham tomorrow, kicking off his Investing in America tour. His Durham visit will be at Wolfspeed, a semiconductor manufacturer, according to the White House. The visit will highlight how American Rescue Plan money is being used. He plans to talk about creating new jobs in supply chain management. It's not known at this time if the president will be making any other stops while in the area.
More than 26 people in Mississippi are dead following one of the worst tornadoes in over a decade. Elon freshman Julia Hardy is from Mississippi, about 3 hours north of where the heaviest destruction took place. But other severe weather has also been passing through Oxford, where she lives. She says she's lucky, but it hits close to home in other ways.
Like one of my friends' dads, like best friends, grew up there, and like the place where they all like grew up, like hanging out, like there was like it was a burger joint like after high school, and it was just like completely like shattered and like gone, like there's just nothing there anymore. And so it's just like hard because like that was where people lived and like grew up, and like now it's just like nothing.
President Joe Biden has declared the storm a major disaster in the state of Mississippi and has ordered federal aid to support recovery efforts.
One person shouldn't have to wash all of the dishes in Lakeside Dining Hall, but as of late, one person or very few do. The video we're showing you is from Elon dining worker Kevin Taylor. He's recorded it over the last year to show how many dishes pile up during a shift. Taylor washes dishes in Lakeside and says the national staffing shortage is affecting Elon's dining halls. Dining hall employees work under the Aramark Corporation, which serves large-scale facilities like universities or hospitals. Taylor has been an Aramark employee since 2004. He says he's contacted Harvest Table, the part of Aramark that serves Elon, for assistance in fixing the problem.
I like working here, but it's just unrealistic to think that one person can wash all those dishes. I do like working here, but.
Aramark's corporate media team did not respond to Elon News Network's multiple requests for comment. More of Taylor's story is on our website, elonnewsnetwork.com.
Elon University community members have the chance to see CNN Chief Medical Correspondent Sanjay Gupta tomorrow at 7 p.m. in Alumni Gym. The event is part of the university's year-long wellness initiative. Freshman Kaylee Stark, a pre-med student, will meet with Gupta prior to his lecture and is excited to hear about his career path.
It will be very cool to just hear all of his advice if he has anything. Because obviously he went through college, he went through a lot of further education, to just hearing any tidbits he has about why he chose his profession, how he knew it was the right profession, how he's enjoying it. That's just going to be really helpful and good to hear.
Tickets for tomorrow's lecture are free for Elon students or $15 for community members. For more information, visit our website, elonnewsnetwork.com.
Coming up, an Elon baseball game brought on an opponent for both teams to fight.
Two performing arts groups are getting ready to take the stage while taking inspiration from childhood classics.
You're watching Elon Local News.
While everyone may have lost out on a perfect bracket, there's still plenty who are betting on the final games of this year's March Madness tournament. Sports wagering in North Carolina is currently illegal in most states and areas, but this may change soon thanks to a new bill. I spoke with students and faculty about what this means. North Carolina legislators are efforting House Bill 347, legalizing sports wagering for professional, amateur, electronic, and collegiate sports. Assistant Professor of Sport Management Bill Squadron says that the new bill would decrease the amount of illegal sports wagering that is currently going on.
I think that this is happening because people have been betting on sports for many decades, even when it was illegal, unfortunately.
The inclusion of collegiate sports in the bill would make betting on future games legal, such as March Madness tournaments. Elon senior Jack Cohen says that legalizing betting is long overdue in North Carolina. As an avid sports fan, Cohen has been worried for a while about the risk of underage betting and gambling addiction.
That line kind of drawn because you obviously don't want to be promoting underage gambling, especially when you're younger. A lot of times kids will use their parents' money or things of that sort, and that's when that can really become problematic.
Elon sophomore Danny Gagney says sports betting has changed how he views sports compared to when he was younger.
I don't really watch football just to watch football if I don't have money on it, so if basically sports betting allows me to get that fantasy aspect.
Squadron says that the bill has the potential to pave the way for other sports bills on the state level, especially after the bill didn't pass last year.
This is a very great opportunity for the sports industry and for sports fans. But it does need to be pursued thoughtfully and carefully.
The bill could be voted on this week, but wouldn't allow residents to bet no earlier than 2024. Currently, sports wagering is punishable by fine or jail time.
Elon University's baseball team is on an 8-game winning streak, but yesterday the team faced an opponent that extends beyond the game. Our Max Wallace has the story.
After the 1-0 victory over the Blue Hens, the Phoenix didn't just celebrate the series sweep. Instead, it looked to take down another opponent, Cancer. Head coach Mike Kennedy talked about how proud he was of his team's commitment in supporting the fight.
Well, this trumps everything we did on that field, I can tell you that. It's so cool to see our guys go all in and so many guys take part in it.
The Versus Cancer program was started by Chase Jones, a cancer survivor and the nephew of former Elon head coach Rick Jones. Its goal is to allow any and all sports organizations to unite and help fundraise for kids fighting cancer. Kennedy, who played Elon baseball under Rick Jones, called the program inspiring.
I go way back with that family, and I know what they went through, and when he was diagnosed, and the having to handle that, and then to see him handle it and turn it into something to help others is just tremendous.
Freshman pitcher Justin Mitrovic says while everyone does it for a specific person, the event unites the players as more than just a team.
It's super important. I mean, not everyone's fortunate enough to do what we have the opportunity to do. I think everyone has someone in mind that they can share the same kind of feeling towards them, and we're just happy we can share that with everyone else.
The game today at Latham Park was bigger than just the 9 innings that took place, as members of Elon baseball community are shaving their heads to show support against the fight against pediatric cancer, an opponent that will require the help of more than just the Blue Hens and the Phoenix to take down. So join Elon baseball as one community, as one family, and as one people to show support and awareness against the fight against pediatric cancer. From Latham Park, Max Wallace, Elon Local News.
In total, Elon Baseball raised over $9,100 for the Versus Cancer program. All donations go towards research that focuses on curing pediatric brain tumors. It also goes towards child-led programs which help support children in local hospitals.
Joining us now for a live look at the weather this week is our Josh Galaski.
Josh is out on Cicerone Plaza tonight. Good evening to you.
Hello, Elon. We're looking at some nice 60-degree sunny days throughout the majority of this week, with a small spike to 71 degrees on Friday, followed by a high of 74 degrees on Saturday with 40% chance of rain. After that, this week is very nice. Get outside, make the most of it while you still can. I'm Josh Galaski. Back to you in the studio.
Josh Galaski live on Cicerone Plaza tonight.
Thank you so much for that update.
Turning childhood games like Truth or Dare or Laser Tag into dances is the concept behind this year's senior dance concert. The show is called Game Over. The performance marks the end of a year-long project for senior dance majors in Elon's BFA program. Elon senior Parker McIntyre is choreographing for the show, but is also dancing. He says there's something special about sharing the stage with his classmates one last time.
Now to think that this is my last time performing is wild, and it's bittersweet because I think I can speak for a lot of us when we're ready to move on and we're ready for the next phase, but at the same time, it's our last time not only performing at Elon, but performing together with each other, which is so sad. But yeah, it's an amazing experience.
Elena Boyce is also a senior participating in this year's concert, even after recently undergoing surgery. She choreographed a solo, even when she couldn't move as much.
There were a lot of days where I literally sat in a chair and said, I need you to do this, this, and that, and just watched her do it. And then it was like we had to communicate really well, but that was a really cool experience because, it's not something either of us had done before, but we created something really cool from it. So I think that's what I'm most proud of for me.
The shows are set to take place at 5 p.m. Friday through Sunday at Roberts Studio Theater in Arts West. There is a second show on Saturday at noon. You can reserve tickets on modacollaborative.com.
Another performing arts group is also gaining inspiration from a board game for its spring production. This year, the acting department is putting on Clue as its spring play. For sophomore Maria Angelos, Clue marks her second time as the assistant stage manager for a spring production. Angelos is also the play's weapon handler. She says it is a necessary role because the murder mystery has a variety of props that could be the suspected weapon.
So it's a farcical comedy, and it is a lot of running around craziness between all of the characters from the board game, murder mystery, and it's really fun. It's a full comedy, and it's very chaotic.
You have 4 opportunities to figure out who done it. Clue runs this Friday through Sunday with performances Friday and Saturday at 7:30 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Tickets are free for students or $15 for community members and can be reserved on elon.universitytickets.com.
You're watching Elon Local News.
Elon Hillel hosted an anti-Semitism awareness training session to raise awareness and educate others. Student leaders guided the audience through a review of Jewish history and strategies to combat anti-Semitism. Elon's senior Corinne Brager is involved with Hillel and spoke at the event. She says she's experienced anti-Semitic comments during her time at Elon, was unsure how to feel. She says she ended up going to her advisor for support.
I've experienced any sort of anti-Semitism. What has really changed the game for me was knowing that, okay, I went to that advisor and I said, you know, this really upset me. I'm not sure if it was anti-Semitic, but I'm really upset. And they were like, it doesn't matter if what they said meant to be anti-Semitic, like you are feeling this way and that's valid.
If you have experienced any form of anti-Semitic behavior or an incident of discrimination, the numbers on your screen are all campus resources to support you and help report if you choose. Truett Center 336-278-7729, Hillel 336-278-7367, and Elon Counseling 336-278-7280.
Backed by popular demand, Elon Chabad and the Pan-Hellenic Association teamed up to host the second annual Mega Challah Bake. Female students, mostly Jewish and in sororities, made challah, a bread eaten often in Jewish culture. At the event, students made 2 loaves of bread up until the dough was braided and brushed with egg wash. Then they got to take their loaves home to properly bake. Elon Jr. Abby Louboutin is one of this year's Mega Challah Bake ambassadors. She says the event furthers the creation of a united Jewish female community on campus.
I think it's a good way to have all these people that are focusing on sorority stuff now, and in sororities, like also think about their Jewish identity as women.
Focus of this event because it is a customary food that has brought Jewish communities together for generations. Femininity is also tightly tied to the baked goods since challah has been baked by women since the first Jewish woman, matriarch Sarah.
Women's History Month may be coming to an end this week, but the owners of many of Elon's downtown businesses are working together to make history year-round. Our Ellis Chandler spoke with some of them.
This year marks the first that Caitlin Brooks owns a business in Elon, but she says her coworkers at All That Jazz and fellow downtown Elon business owners are why she loves her job.
It's just such a teamwork makes the dream work type mentality, which is an awesome way to have your day in and day out, routines be.
Brooks was a lawyer before taking over the gift and apparel store. She says as a mom of 2 little kids, she wanted more flexibility with her job.
I also missed the community aspect of it, and here it's part of our regular routine instead of kind of being the exception. And so that has been really nice, and they get it more.
One of the women Brooks has grown close to is Melissa Troutman. She owns the Simply Oak Boutique and says her fellow business owners are always cheering her on.
We're here to support one another. We're not in competition. If they succeed, we succeed. And so I'm always in their corners, and I just think it's great that there's that sense of community here.
Owner of Pandora's Pies, Kimberly Holt, agrees. She says she loves seeing fellow Elon business owners come into Pandora's, and she loves seeing more women working alongside her.
Like back in the day when Pandora's first opened, the kitchen was like all men, and now some days it's like all women, and it's just, I don't know, we have that motherly instinct, and it's a little different than having a bunch of men run the place.
All the business owners say they enjoy collaborating together at the monthly merchants meetings. Holt says they've been sharing ideas about the town's new social district to see how they can all work together. Ellis Chandler, Elon Local News.
All of the business owners we spoke with had the same advice for young women looking to start or run their own businesses. They say just go for it and find other women who can support and cheer you on.
Still ahead, a brand new club on Elon's campus is taking inspiration from Korean pop culture.
Young Commons is usually surrounded by red bricks and green grass, but see why it was covered in 7 colors of paint when we return.
You're watching Elon Local News.
Students on campus are stepping out of their comfort zones and exploring Korean culture with the launch of a new K-pop dance and singing club on campus. It started as a Burst the Bubble class and is now formed into an organized group. Burst the Bubble classes are short programs held over winter term where students who have a specific talent or interest share their knowledge with their peers. Elon Jr. and Mary Lou Ravel came up with the idea after discovering how fun dancing and singing to K-pop songs can be.
It's a really fun thing to do, and I've always liked to sing, so I had always thought like we could do like a dance and vocal sort of cover group. Like that's not super common, I feel like.
Elon senior Nia Griffin participated in the first 2 Burst the Bubble classes and also helped lead the 3rd one. She now leads K-Dance with Ravel.
It works out because Mary Lou is like a really good singer and she knows like vocally really well, and I'm more interested in the dance side, so it kind of like worked out where.
K-Dance is set to perform at Limitless, a student art showcase from 9 to 11 p.m. in McKinnon Hall this Friday.
If you're finding paint in your clothes in the grass outside Mosley or anywhere else today, it's probably due to this year's Holi celebration, which left campus covered in color.
I knew nothing about Holi to start. I came to like learn more, have a good time, and we definitely had a good time. So you can see very colorful.
It was so fun. Like everybody was having a good time.
And like people that were walking by there were just like, oh, this looks like fun. It just brings everyone together.
It's for everybody, and like as the Elon community, everybody is welcome to this, and everybody is welcome to learn more about the faiths and spiritualities and cultures.
I'm certain that a lot of students who come here to get covered in paint, but what they don't realize is they're being immersed in an experience from a different culture or a different religious background than they're used to. And even as they're throwing paint, they're learning something about a Hindu festival, which is one of the largest in the world, actually.
Happy Holi to everybody.
Happy Holi!
Thanks so much for watching tonight. We'll be back next Monday at the same time.
Visit our website, elonnewsnetwork.com, for your latest campus and community news. Follow us on social media at Elon News Network and at SportsCNN. Have a great night, everyone.